I want to bring on Chrysta Castañeda right now. She's a crisis communications expert. Chrysta, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so when we're talking shake-up, you know, these daily press briefings, the argument against them is that they're really not needed. They've been around forever, but they're really not needed. It's just a game of gotcha. You know, the press trying to get the White House spokesman to say something that maybe contradicts the president, what have you. And they're really not needed in the age of social media. The people who are for keeping it, saying, look, we've done this forever. It's all about the veil of secrecy, holding the president accountable. We've got to keep these things going. First of all, the daily press briefings, I was wondering your opinion on them.
Well, they serve a role. They're not just there because we've always done them. It's a way for, media is an important part of our democracy, and for reporters to be able to ask the White House press staff questions directly is an important safeguard in our democracy. Trump suggested he could just put out, questions and answers. I mean, that goes to some degree to solve the problem, but it doesn't do the same thing as having reporters asking hard questions.
All right, so what would the president gain or lose from making that move, from just saying, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore?
Well, it all depends on what is President Trump's actual mission here. Is he just trying to avoid scrutiny? Is he trying to just focus on what he wants to focus on? The issue is, a communication strategy can amplify what you're trying to get done. It's part of a coordinated effort to actually advance the agenda that he got elected to do, if he uses it properly. If he keeps his staff out of the loop, if they don't know how to answer the questions, if they're saying inconsistent things, that all detracts from the mission. So it comes down to, does President Trump know what he's trying to achieve with communication strategy?
This is my take on it, and I want to get your opinion, whether you agree or you think I'm totally out of my mind. And I'll go back to getting rid of Sean Spicer, because it seems like his head's on the chopping block, which, this is a guy who's taken bullet after bullet for the president, and he stood up, and I actually like him going back at the media, because I don't like the media, and I'm part of it, just having their way with whoever they may trot out there. But this whole shakeup and saying he's going to get done with daily press briefings, this reminds me of a kid who gets upset and takes their ball and runs home, which we've seen this kind of behavior out of Trump before. The bottom line is with this, if they would have asked Sean Spicer and VP Mike Pence, because this has to do with the Comey firing and how that was, he had contradictory reports coming from each one of those individuals as to when the president made this decision. If they would have asked, and this is the analogy I use, if they would have asked Spicer, did the president have white or wheat toast for breakfast? And Spicer said wheat and the president said white. Or did he have pancakes? Or I can see people not being on the same page with that. But the firing of an FBI director is a huge move that's going to come under intense scrutiny. And for Trump to not have his team on board with exactly the message they were all going to go with points to me toward total, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Chaos?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you can't get everybody on board with that, come on. The problem lies with you. It's not Spicer or the press corps or anybody else. It's you. Your thoughts?
Well said.
Okay. I
think you're exactly right on. I mean, if you're going to lead an organization and lead the communications effort of an organization, you've got to know what it is you want to say and how you want to say it. I think the problem in the Comey situation is that maybe President Trump didn't really think through why he was doing it, or all of these reasons that he's expressed, as the thing has evolved. Maybe those were all thoughts in his mind. That the issue is processing them up front and getting a consistent message and getting it out to the media would have helped this whole effort in trying to, deflect the criticism for firing Comey. Well,
and I get back to earlier Friday, Trump tweeted that it's not possible for my surrogates to stand at the podium with perfect accuracy. With a topic like this, yes, it is. It should absolutely be expected that when you make a decision to fire the director of the FBI, and I'm not judging the decision. I'm not saying he should have been fired or shouldn't. As a matter of fact, I mean, if I was Trump, I probably would have gotten rid of him. But my point is, get everybody on board, let everybody know exactly why you're doing it, or at least say, look, this is the message we're going to give to the media. Don't have VP Mike Pence saying this, Spicer saying this, Trump saying this, and then all of a sudden it blows up in your face, and now all of a sudden, well, I'm just going to not do my daily briefings. Why? Because you made yourself look like a total ass, and you want to blame somebody else? Because that's what this looks like to me.
I think that's what it looks like to a lot of people. And to come back to your thought earlier of can this just be solved by tweeting, it can't. These are complicated issues in 140 characters, and superficial treatment doesn't get the message out, doesn't get the mission accomplished. I think it's a mistake for him to forgo the daily press briefing.
Talking to Chrysta Castañeda, she is a crisis communications expert. Chrysta, what do you take with people who say, well, look, this game of gotcha, where reporters try to catch the spokesperson in a mistake or a contradiction, and the spokesperson often tries to embarrass or shame the reporters. It's gotten old anyway. Why not just have a weekly press briefing? Or if there's a big news event, then have one then, but the daily thing is not needed anymore.
Man, with this president and this administration, it feels more like we need one every 2 hours. You want to stay in touch with the news cycle, and if news is only being made once a week or once every 2 weeks, maybe. But that's not the situation we're in. Things are moving so fast, and the messages and the news cycle moves so fast, and the message is going so sideways that I think they'd actually do themselves a favor to stand up with a prepared set of remarks as often as possible. Once a day still makes sense.
So here's the million-dollar question. Are we inching toward a total White House press blackout?
I don't think so. Personally, it doesn't seem to me that this White House is capable.
He loves the press too much, right? I mean, honestly, he loves the attention.
That's exactly it. If President Trump's mission is to make sure that President Trump is in the papers every single day on every single page, he is accomplishing that. This whole, circus is accomplishing exactly that. He is relevant. He is top of mind every single minute of every single day.
All right, Chris, always appreciate you stopping by the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that's Chrysta Castañeda, crisis communications expert.